Hey guys, this is why Disney doesn't make 2D animated movies anymore. Now when we were kids, or at least when Matt and I were kids, Disney was constantly releasing high quality animated movies. Think back to The Lion King and Aladdin. I mean, movies just don't look like this anymore, and these are just a couple of examples of some absolute classics. In addition to all of these new movies, they were also regularly re-releasing their older collection via the Disney Vault. Films like Bambi, Alice in Wonderland, and Peter Pan were much older from the 40s and 50s, but they would be remastered about every 10 years, which roughly meant a re-release for each new medium, such as VHS, DVD, as well as Blu-ray. As time went on and 3D animation from studios like Pixar and DreamWorks got more and more popular, we started to see less and less hand-drawn animation from the House of Mouse. And just so we're clear, while there are tons of types of animation, such as 3D, stop motion, and full CGI, we're talking about those hand-drawn classic 2D animations here. In fact, the last hand-drawn Disney movies we got were Princess and the Frog, which came out 10 years ago, and Winnie the Pooh, which was released in 2011. Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with 3D animation. I mean, can you imagine a movie like Cars if it was hand-drawn? Sure, it might have looked cool, but full CGI opens up a massive amount of different styles and looks that just weren't possible before. However, the real reason that hand-drawn animation is all but dead now really comes down to the most nefarious reason of all: money. On a budget of around $100 million, The Princess and the Frog only returned $267 million, whereas Winnie the Pooh had a budget of $30 million and it returned just $50 million. Now you might be saying to yourself, that sounds like a profit to me, but in movie terms, that really is not a lot. You have to remember that marketing and merchandising costs money too. I mean, Cars didn't exactly do amazing at the box office, but its merchandise has raked in billions of dollars. A good rule of thumb is that big budget movies like the one that Disney puts out need to make around 2 times their production budget just to break even. So while The Princess and the Frog may have profited around $60 million, that is a drop in the bucket for a company like Disney, especially when they own 6 of the top 10 highest grossing movies ever. For some more context, the purely 3D animated film Frozen, which of course was made by the Walt Disney Animation Studios back in 2013, managed to pull in a cool $1.3 billion on its $150 million budget. So that should tell you all you need to know about why you're not seeing the hand-drawn stuff anymore. The money is just elsewhere. Now in a similar vein to the Disney Vault, instead of remasters, we're starting to see remakes of those classic hand-drawn movies like The Lion King, The Jungle Book, and now Aladdin that either mix an animated world with human characters or are just straight up photorealistic animated movies. I mean, have you seen that Lion King trailer?
Yeah, they say it's live action. Last time I checked, a warthog doesn't fart on command. Maybe.
The first of this new wave was 2010's Alice in Wonderland, which while it received a lukewarm at best reception from critics, managed to pull in $1 billion on a $150 million budget. $1 billion, no, sorry, wrong movie. Oh, and the Aladdin Remake releasing later this week is forecasted to make around $100 million in its opening 3-day weekend alone, which would put it in Avatar territory. So yeah, get ready for more live action and animated remakes from Disney. You gotta make that money, yeah. Gotta make that money, yeah.
Because there's nostalgia?
Yes. We're all gonna go watch these movies, and we're gonna go pay another $20 at the theater every single time they release Wreck-It Ralph 14 that was CGI'd into a 8K VR resolution. Thankfully, 2D animation isn't completely dead at Disney or even other studios. It's just being used for smaller projects. If you went out to see Wreck-It Ralph back in 2012, you were treated to one of Disney's best short films ever, Paperman. If you haven't seen it yet, you should go check it out, but the bottom line here is that it was created through a hybrid of 2D and 3D animation called Meander, a tool developed by Disney which lets artists modify computer-generated animation with 2D drawings to create a more natural look. A similar technique was used to create the style for Sony's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. After frames were rendered in 3D, artists would go into the frames and draw over them in 2D with the goal of making every single one look like a comic book panel. They even went as far as to use 2 different frame rates, sometimes even in the same scene, to give it a rougher look. 2D animation is not dead. It's just, different now. If you want to know more about how Disney has taken over the movie industry, check out our episode on how Marvel assembled the Avengers for Endgame, and make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next This Is episode. Because if you don't, Matt will be trapped in the Disney Vault forever.
I'm mildly okay with that. There's a lot of good movies to watch.